What's up, my legends? It's Scion, and we're going to talk about the new Sam attack coming. And we're going to talk about really quick. This is not going to be a long video, but I wanted to point out a few things to you guys so you can prepare. You got 3 days to prepare for this, so we're going to talk about that right now. Alright. So, as you guys know, we have Naruto, Hidan, and Jiraiya that are going to have bonuses, you know, to do extra damage towards whatever the boss is. I'm hoping they don't palette swap Ninetales with something silly and he do kind of like the same crap. I'm hoping it's going to be different. I hope it be like, I don't know, what could you do? Hidan, what did Hidan fight? I'm trying to think. Hidan never fought Ninetales. Hidan fought, I believe he fought Three Tails before. He has fought Jinchuriki before. Naruto has only fought before Ninetales, and Jiraiya has never fought any of the Jinchuriki except for Naruto when he was about to beast out or something like that. So I don't think, like, I'm trying to think what they would use. Like, they could use 8 tails. That would be kind of cool. We do have 1 tail out there in the summons, so you can put them out there. Like, so I'm trying to just think. It's probably gonna be something big regardless. Anyway, but that aside, all right. So the question is, what would you use, or who would you use? So let's talk about each character. First of all, actually, I'm gonna go from least useful to the most useful out of all of this. I'm gonna start with Hidan. Now, you're probably gonna be like, why is Hidan not useful? Okay, Hidan has a problem in a boss fight. He's too slow. His ultimate, he basically spins around and then he does his normal attack. Of course, he cannot be hit, but the animation for that is so long that that's going to be a problem with bosses. You guys remember what Ninetales did to us with supers that were, or ultimates that took too long. He's way too slow for that. And on top of that, all of his specials are kind of like, they're kind of lengthy. Like, Hidan is more for AoE. So if this boss has some type of AoE, then Hidan will be good. But if it's a single target fight, Hidan is not going to be good for this fight. I'm just being honest with you guys. Like, I know a lot of people who are fans of him, but Hidan's kit is an AoE kit. Like, almost every single thing he does hits multiple targets and has a long animation with it. His normals are pretty good. If you just want to keep using his normals and hit the weak spot of whatever the boss is, then that might be a viable thing. But all his specials is just, like, think about it. He has his one slice that goes forward. He's like spinning forward. He has the roundhouse. Everything else is slow or keeps him stationary in some type of way. So it's not necessarily going to be good. Now, with that said, it could be the outside chance that he will hit multiple areas a couple of times. To say if it's something like with Ninetales, you could hit like the head and the shoulder or something like that, or maybe even all 3 of the front areas, which will be good. That will make him OP for that. But if all of that doesn't happen and you're just hitting single areas and stuff like that, you're probably not going to want to go with Hidan. All right, so next, Jiraiya. We already know Jiraiya's kit. 2 of his skills are really not going to do anything unless you have like a really big skill override with them, with with his I guess his spike shield. His spike shield is more of a defensive thing, and it iframes pretty much the same way that Hinata does her shield iframe. That's not necessarily going to be that useful in this fight either. You'll hit whatever the boss is with it, but unless you're looking at like a level 4 or 5 spike shield or something like that, it's probably not going to really do much. He's going to have probably his Toad Flame and his Mud Wall, which basically is like slowing the boss down or slowing the enemies down. That might be a thing. That's why I'm putting him ahead of Hidan, because slowing a big, monster down to the point where it can't really move or something like that, there'll be some cheese. And you combine that now with Minato. who runs really fast, you put both of them together, like that basically screws the boss, because Minato just be running circles around him, which we'll talk about Minato now. Out of all these three characters, Minato is probably the best case scenario to use. He's gonna be faster, and I can tell you now, if it's something like Ninetales, or if they repeat Ninetales again, Minato is gonna wreck Ninetales, because Ninetales is not gonna be able to. You guys remember what I was telling you about with that just going side by side with Ninetales, that he can't hit you if he doesn't have 1 second to hit you. And when you notice that he'll move. All the characters in this game, all the AI in this game works that way. They need a second to initiate. Even the smaller characters. The smaller characters are a little bit easier because they don't have the same access as a bigger character. But if you notice all the rest of the enemies in the game, they all do the same thing. They need to turn to initiate their attack. You'll never see like what we do. Like if we have our back turned to enemy, we'll do our super and try to super them. The computer never does that to you. They always have to turn around and face you to initiate their special attacks. That's a little bit of an AI flaw in this game, especially with characters who have AoE attacks. They don't have to turn around and do that, but the way the AI works in this game, it has to turn around to actually attack you with a special attack. With Minato is too fast for that. He breaks. That's why I remember I said in that video before that Minato breaks the game. He does break the game because he's faster than the access of the AI. So the AI can't keep up with him, and he can just run around and do whatever he wants. Once you get used to doing his flying Raijin and his other speed attack, nothing the AI could do. Nothing. Period. Like you can just dance around the AI all day and just do damage and hardly ever be hit. So that would probably make Minato, out of all these three, the best one to use. And his super is fast on top of that. So he can get in with his super, pop him, really big hit. It's faster than Naruto's, and his normals are faster than Naruto's. So he can get in, pop the enemy, or pop whatever it's going to be with his super, and then be doing normal damage after that. That's a faster DPS than any of the other two characters. Period. There's not even there's not even a test on that. It's not even close, because he's just going to do it faster. Now, on the outside chance of you want to have an extra pick, you can again bring Shikamaru in there for buffing, which he will buff Minato, Hidan, and Jiraiya. You can bring in Tsunade on top of that to be a healer that could try to keep herself alive if that actually works properly in there, which they said it will be, but we'll see. And you can bring in again the homie Itachi. Itachi is going to be owning in this all time, especially if you got 100 power Itachi. Like even without the bonus, Itachi is going to be doing that damage and doing the same thing that he was doing to Ninetales, like getting out of the range, using his teleport and everything. Itachi's still going to be the beast in this. So prep wise, I know this was like not really that much to see, but this is just something for you guys to think about, to prepare. What I would suggest is when this comes out, when Jiraiya comes, look at Jiraiya's kit. See what it's about. He's gonna be slow. He's not a fast character. So if he's slow and he's not popping damage, do not use Jiraiya on the boss fight. Like if that slow isn't slowing down the boss and he's not popping some big type of damage, you're gonna be losing damage in a DPS race. Because remember, you have to beat other characters to do the most damage. You're gonna lose the people who don't even have a bonus with a slow character like Jiraiya and Hidan. You just are, because they don't attack fast enough for that. So just think about that. Minato's probably your best choice for that. If you have a super strong Jiraiya, if you get a super strong Jiraiya, but if you have a super strong Hidan, like 120k, 150k, then you could probably override that and just pop him and do a bunch of damage to him, and then you'd be fine. But most people, that's probably not going to be the case. You're going to want to go with Minato. So that's all I got for you guys. I just wanted to break that down for you guys. This is straight coming from a DPS standpoint about how fast each character will probably hit. I don't see Jiraiya being that much faster or that much better than Hidan or Minato. He's a straight skip for me. I'm telling you now that Jiraiya is a straight skip for me, because his kit isn't good enough for me to be worried about. He's just, a lot of it is just the same type of skills that everybody else has in the game, except for the mud slide that slows everything down. Nobody has that, but Rasengan, everybody, well, not everybody, Rasengan's already in the game, and the slow version and the fast version. Spike Wall was technically already in the game because it's pretty much the same thing as Hinata's shield. Pretty much the same thing, except that it causes probably a little bit more damage. And like he basically has like his flame jutsu, and that's pretty much the same as maybe Kakashi and Sasuke. So I'm not wasting time on a ninja that's going to do the same thing that's already in the game. That's just not enough for me. He's going to have to hit extremely hard for it to be worth it. Hidan is fine. It's just that his ultimate is whatever. And then Minato, I think, is going to be the case that you should be using. Anyway, next video, like and subscribe. Hope you guys understand that. Hope you guys got prepared. Like, prepare that Minato. Like, get your points together. Prepare that Hidan. Get your points together, and then think about Jiraiya and use whatever stronger character you have after that. Peace. See you soon.